All right, good morning all who are just joining. Hello, welcome. It's wonderful to have you here. Happy Saturday, and wherever you happen to be. Oh, I'm realizing the screen is capturing everything I'm saying. Spooky. So feel free as you're coming in. There's a prompt up on the screen there. So just wondering where in the world you're tuning in from. So if you click on view option, click annotate, which will then give you a couple of options. Choose a stamp that you like, and then click on the map to let us know where you're tuning in from. And our panelists, feel free to do the same. Okay, we've got somebody in what looks to be Ontario. We've got somebody in the northeastern United States. Hey, Clark. Okay, Danya's also in kind of Toronto-ish area, maybe. Natalie's the same. Marcella also tuning in from perhaps Ontario. Terrence is West Coast Canada. We're out in British Columbia, I believe, correct? Nice, okay, got it. Okay, I see a heart in the top left. Oh, it's gone, okay, bye.
The Pacific Ocean.
Okay, we've got Janelle tuning in from maybe an island community. I'm here for it. Janelle tuning in from India. Hello, welcome. This is also going to be a really good test of my geography. Should have brushed up.
This is a cool looking map.
Yeah, so this is actually, this is a projection that most accurately captures the size and scale of all of the continents, and the most common one, the Mercator projection, distorts the side, like the global north looks considerably bigger and the global south looks considerably smaller. So this is a more accurate map.
For reference, it's called the Orthograph by Hajime Narukawa, and it could actually be folded using like a triangle type of thing. It looks really cool. So there's a lot more than meets the eye.
And yeah, like you can wrap it around like a spherical object to make a globe. Mm-hmm. We have someone tuning in from what looks like Florida. Good morning. Thanks for being here. Right. Yeah, Florida's on the, okay. Yeah, don't ask me about the location of states. I really apologize. We have someone in kind of like the mid-east states. Okay, we have Sam tuning in from, oh no. I'm so sorry, Sam. Can you help me out in the chat where you're tuning in from?
Period.
Sorry?
The Philippines.
That's what I thought, but I didn't. Okay.
It's the Philippines because it's one of my group members and I've been in touch with them. So.
Oh, hey, look at this connection happening already. Sam, your leader is in the room. For those who are just joining, take a moment to click annotate and let us know where you're tuning in from. It's always wonderful to see sort of the diversity in terms of location that we've got in the room. Different time zones. This is great. So for some of us, it is. Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
Sorry, it's just a random comment. I didn't realize Brazil was so big.
I mean, this is the thing, right? Is that so much of our understanding of the world is shaped by this singular projection, which is pretty limiting. Yeah. All right, maybe we'll wait 2 more minutes until 10 minutes after the hour, and we'll kick things off. So again, thanks all for being here. I'm sure I'm not the first, but let me say a welcome to New College. It's wonderful to have you here, and we look forward to seeing you lots over the course of the summer and in through the year.
Yeah, and a little fun fact for everyone. Sometimes when we refer to 10 minutes past the hour, we refer to as tea time. A lot of classes tend to start 10 minutes past the hour. So usually it's a little nice term that we throw around sometimes, just tea time. Or you have tea time.
And feel free, if you'd like to say hello in the chat, feel free to use the chat throughout the session. If you have questions, comments, if you want to just say hi, it's there.
Okay, I think we are 10 minutes past the hour, officially at tea time. So I think we could get started. And as people trickle in, we'll let them into the call. So Jared, can you go to the next slide, please?
I can.
Okay, everyone. Oh, yep, you could clear out
I sure will. Yep. Just...
It's a very loving community, obviously. That's why we have so many hearts. Yeah, so hello, everyone. Welcome to the first week of Summer Welcome 2021 sessions. We're super excited to have you here and joining us on this Saturday afternoon in Ontario time. We hope you get to connect with each other and fellow upper year students. We have 6 people here, including Jared and I, who are the presenters, and who are also not, oh, let me admit some people. A lot of the students with us today who are upper years have been in your spot not too long ago, so they're going to have a breadth of experience to speak about. And I'll also note that we do have closed captioning available, so as we speak, you might notice that there are subtitles in the bottom. In case if you don't see them, you could click on the More option, and then you'll be able to turn on the subscription, or sorry, the closed captioning. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so just to introduce myself, my name is Alex Saptavar. I am the Programs and Communications Assistant at Ursel. It's known as the PACA, but it's more fun to call me the Alpaca. You can contact me through new.studentlife@utoronto.ca.
Hi, everyone. Jared here. I'm the Student Life Programs Coordinator in the Office of Residence and Student Life. So I work really closely with Alex and all of the student leaders who are on the call. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, my email's on the screen there. It's jared.boland@utoronto.ca. Okay, so just before we get into the content of our session, I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge the land that we're sitting on, or rather that the land that the University of Toronto is constructed on. Although when we looked at the map, we noticed that not all of us are in the same place. We're gathering in common purpose around the University of Toronto, which sits on the traditional territory of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. So if you're in Canada or are reading Canadian news, you may know that this past week and the last couple of weeks have been particularly difficult for Indigenous communities here in Canada. Or rather Indigenous to the land that is now called Canada. You may know that over 1,000 unmarked graves have been discovered in the last 2 weeks, which is a really difficult number to contend with. And education is really deeply connected to that, right? Residential schools being kind of the first and obvious connection, and the way that Indigenous people are routinely shut out from higher educational opportunities. And so it's really important for all of us on the call, for the leaders on the call, especially to recognize that we have a responsibility to Indigenous people, both in terms of education, but also in terms of the 94 calls to action within the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Many of these terms may not be familiar to you, especially if you're not familiar with Canadian politics. That's okay. Part of your journey as a U of T student will be coming to understand the relationships that the University of Toronto has with these Indigenous communities and Indigenous peoples in Canada as a whole. So wanted to take a moment to really sit and reflect with the many lives that were lost as part of the residential schools project that are continuing to be discovered today. So in the spirit of reconciliation, I invite you to take a moment this weekend to read something about the Truth and Reconciliation Commission if you've never read it, as perhaps preparation for your studies. Thanks all.
Thank you, Jared. So I'd like to take this moment actually with the chat feature that we have on Zoom. In the chat, we ask that you please type in one word to describe your feeling when logging into the session today. So how are you feeling on this Saturday, whether it's the morning, afternoon, evening, or middle of the night for you? You could click on the chat on your computer, and it's usually a chat icon like a bubble, and then type into the chat how you're feeling, and then let's get the what's the vibe in the room. I think people say vibe check. I don't know. I'm so out of touch. Sweaty, Alan, I feel that too. It's very humid. Liam's vibing. That's great to hear. Kayla's excited. Always excited, especially at New College. All right, by Nadma. Nah, relaxed, tired. Yeah, I'm always a night owl, so mornings for me is never good. I know it's noon by now, but I was up quite early today on a Saturday, so yeah, another tired. Optimistic, that's good too. Curious. Oh, I like that word, curious. Curiosity, I feel, can lead to a lot of places, which is pretty cool. Good, enthusiastic, excited. Awesome. So yeah, a lot of different feelings in the room today, and I like that a lot of people are excited, some are tired. I hope your energy at least comes up a little bit. Oh, connected, Stella, that's a nice one. Yeah, I know Stella is one of our leaders in the room today, so she could probably talk more about that in the breakout rooms that we're going to have later. But yeah, there's definitely a lot going on, and I think acknowledging that we're all coming in at different times, different moments, different feelings. So but I'm hoping that you all kind of take something out of today and maybe leave a little bit more excited or even more curious, hopeful even after this call and this session with us today. Okay, wonderful. I think we could go to the outcomes.
Wonderful. So today's session, here are the things that we're hoping to give you today as part of our session. So we want to help you recognize the connection between co-curricular involvement and academic or student success. So co-curricular might be a new word for you. You might be more familiar with the term extracurricular. So all the things you can get involved with during your studies, we're hoping to help you make that connection. We're hoping that you can recognize commonalities between some of the things you're feeling with the feelings of your peers. So that's part of the reason we just asked you how you're feeling. Nudging you. We'd like you to help to begin to develop relationships with your peers. So you'll have some opportunities in breakouts to meet some fellow incoming students and identify pathways for involvement at New College and at U of T. So all the student leaders in the room will be able to help you figure out what are some early things that I could get involved with so that I can be a student leader on a call like this in a year from now, 2 years from now.
Okay, and then we'll go into our outline. Basically 5 key things we want to cover today. Introducing the New College student leaders that are with us in this call. You'll get to hear more about them and then go more in depth into our breakout rooms. Then we're going to discuss why get involved. So kind of what the whole purpose of this session is why are we encouraging students to get involved? We're going to do some small breakout rooms so that you can have more discussions, maybe talk a little bit or chat with your leaders in the group and ask your questions. We'll do a little Q&A and recap with the larger group and just discuss some key things that were discussed in the smaller breakout rooms. And finally, we'll discuss some next steps. So after this session, what should you do afterwards to kind of get the ball rolling in different areas?
All right, so let's meet our panelists. So today we have a really great group of folks. I'm excited for you to connect with them. So on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see in bold the names of the folks that we have here today, and you'll get to hear a little bit about each of them. And on the right-hand side in the italicized text, these are all different opportunities for you at New College. So you can see that there's lots of things you can get involved with. So if it helps, maybe take a screenshot. This is a good opportunity to like know the kinds of things that you can ask your leaders about in your breakout rooms. Oh, sorry, I skipped ahead. So I'd like to hear from each of our panelists just going down the list. So panelists, if you could give just a brief introduction of who you are, what your role is, how you're involved, and how your involvements have supported your academic journey. That would be really great. So I'll start with Alan.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alan. I'm really happy to be here. I'm going to be a head peer leader for the upcoming academic year. My role basically consists of supporting other leaders and being a mentor for incoming students. And this role has been really helpful for my, my academic journey because the trainings and workshops that are held by New College have allowed me to be more familiar about all the amazing resources that the campus has to offer.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Alan. Anjali unfortunately couldn't be here, but is another great name to know. I'll turn it to Danya.
Yeah, awesome. Hi, everyone. So my name is Danya. I'm currently going to my third year. Hopefully, we'll be on campus for then for September. I'm currently also a head peer leader for the Sprout Mentorship Program. I was a peer leader last year, which was really great. And I also work with the first year learning communities, which is another great program if you're looking into that. And the way that being involved with these activities has helped me really grow is because when students ask us about resources and ways to support them, we then go and we go into like our knowledge bank of things that we know, or maybe do a bit of Googling, reaching out to other U of T partners. And when I get a question from a newsie, like I'll ask Jared or anyone else, and this is how we also get to know about different opportunities and resources that are available at the campus. So definitely very helpful in our own personal development and professional development.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Danya. All right, handing it over to Eric.
Hi, everyone. So I'm going to my fourth year studying in the life sciences stream, and I am one of your OCs this year, as well as a senior peer leader, which is sort of overseeing the Sprout mentorship with Jared. I think one of the, I think being in the leadership role has really the most valuable thing I gained from it is the friends and the community we've sort of been in, because after meeting other student leaders through training, through other activities we perform, we really get to know one another well, and then that way we can share academic resources and all the other good things that will help us succeed at UAT.
Amazing. Thanks, Eric. Jade also couldn't be here today, but we're thanking both Anjali and Jade for their many contributions to the New College community. Handing it to Natalie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Natalie. I am the other orientation coordinator for this year, so I work closely with Eric. I'm also going into my fourth year to the life sciences stream. I'd have to say that being in leadership has definitely helped me learn about resources at New College and the U of T campus, but definitely similar to Eric, what has supported me throughout like my entire academic journey has been the community and like the strong held like connections I made at New College, because that definitely helped me through some of the tough times that I had in first year and second year and third year. Now, like hopefully those are also still around for my last and final year. So yeah, nice to meet you all virtually.
I did it again. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Natalie. Handing it to Stella.
Hi, everyone. I'm Stella. I'm going into fourth year as well in the physiology specialist, which is part of Life Sci. I'm going to be a peer leader and part of the Sprout mentorship program this year. I've also been a head peer leader last year, so I have some expertise on that side. I think for me, leadership and like within New College, I guess like everyone has alluded to it already, but it's definitely the two major things are the fact that it allowed me to continuously learn about new resources and new opportunities all the time. Because when I was in first year, I guess I only learned a certain number of things, and it would be very easy just to carry those through my entire undergrad career. But being a leader, I was encouraged to, for my students, like continue to learn new things, like learn about new resources, opportunities, and grow in that way. And it also made me stay connected, because I know for me, when I get stressed, I tend to like recluse into a little ball. But being a leader like forced me to, in a good way, to go out of my comfort zone and keep staying connected even in those hard times. And that's like an absolutely valuable skill, to be able to stay connected even when it's, you feel like it's the hardest to and you don't feel like you're capable of. So I think within these roles, learned a lot that supported my academic experience really strongly.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Stella. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, Terrence.
Yeah, hi. My name is Terrence. I'm the New College Student Council President. I'm going into my fourth year studying bioinformatics, which is like life science and computer science. It's, yeah, if you really want to know, you can ask me, but Yeah, that's what it is. Uh, a way that council has like been a really good support is like, as some of the previous panelists have said, the community of people. Um, any student council that I have been on, it has been like a good way to just like make friends, like find good people who are supportive, and also to find people who actually like know a lot about the resources around U College and around U of T. I find that um, going through those experiences has like let me know about a lot of things. Like maybe I'm struggling with something that has to do with my mental health, and I ask someone on student council or someone who has been on student council with me, and they will know something. And then because of that, I know the resource. And then if anyone else needs to know about it, I can share it with them. So it's just been a good way to just like kind of like collect all the resources that I can in a way and just like share them with anyone who needs them, or even use them for myself if I need to. So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Terrence. And thanks to all of our panelists. I think what I'm really taking away from what our panelists shared was building a knowledge of resources as well as building networks on campus, right? So it's not just about finding, peers in your classes and people that you can, hang out with, go study with, but it's also the people you can lean on when you're in need of support, right? So these are the kinds of things that your extracurriculars can add to your academic journey.
So our panelists have already discussed some really great reasons to get involved, such as building the networks, learning more about resources, and really being connected with your community. In general, student involvement really leads to what's called an increased sense of belonging. And this is found to be consistent for students of all demographics. And what the sense of belonging has done is it shows that it has strong correlations with improvements to the rates of graduations with students, the mental health with students, as well as self-determined student success. So student success can be different amongst everyone. Some people consider it to be a high GPA, others consider it to have like a really good network or a strong support system. And they're finding that that sense of belonging has really increased self-determined student success rates, which is pretty awesome to hear. I know this is also not on the slides, but I'm speaking more anecdotally as for myself, and I think a lot of the panelists can agree with me, but one of the main reasons I also got involved was that I found that a lot of my positive undergrad highlights came from when I was involved. So when I was doing things with either orientation or mentorship or clubs, those were like my highlights for undergrad. It wasn't always just the studying in the library until very late. It was really connecting with my friends that I made and colleagues in all these different programs I was involved in. And overall, I believe student involvement can really just make your undergrad experience just a lot more fun, right? You have the opportunity to meet people and learn new things. And it's really important to highlight that it can really help develop many things throughout different areas. So that includes your personal network, which people have discussed. You can meet people beyond the classroom. Your leadership and communication skills can really build up throughout time. Your knowledge in different area, like I mentioned before, and so much more. So this list on the slide is not exhaustive. It covers so many things as to why you should get involved, because there's so many opportunities out there, and it really can lead to a lot of different things. Next slide.
All right, so the time has come. We're actually going to be sending you out into some breakout rooms because to try to facilitate a panel with as many folks as what are in the room might be a little challenging. So we're actually going to divide you into a smaller group. So in your group, you'll have 3 of the panelists in the room. They're going to take you through a little bit of an icebreaker, help you feel a little bit more comfortable. And then you'll have lots of time for some Q&A. So you're actually going to have about 15 minutes in your breakout room. So I know Alex is working diligently to get our breakout rooms set. But in breakout room 1, you will have, now let's see if I remember, you will have Eric, Stella, and Alan. Did I get that right? Terrence, pooched it. So Eric, Stella, and Terrence in group 1. And then in your second group is Natalie, Alan, and Danya. Okay, seeing some nods. I must have got that right. Okay, good. Alex, are we set with our breakouts? Wonderful. So in just a moment, you'll receive an invitation to enter a breakout room, and then your student facilitators will take over from there. So I'll see you back here in about 15. Welcome back to the main room. Give everyone a second to get settled. The hallmark of a great breakout conversation is that when you close the breakout rooms, nobody comes back until the very last second. So hats off to all of our student leaders for facilitating such engaging dialogue. And I hope that you all, our incoming students, had a great opportunity for some questions. We recognize that we're having such great conversations. So we gave you an extra 10 minutes. That means we won't have time to do a bit of a recap and debrief together. But you will have lots of opportunities, of course, to connect with your peer leaders and with your head peer leaders over the course of the summer through our e-mentorship program. So you can email your head peer leaders, you can talk to your peer leaders on the Quirkus pages. So if you still have questions, you have lots of spaces to ask those.
Okay, so now let's go on to the next steps. You've joined us in this session. You got to meet some great people. You got to meet hopefully some of your classmates even, or at least the incoming class you're joining with. Some things that we wanted to highlight, similar to what Jared said, we really want you to connect with your peer leader or head peer leader. We have the Life at New Quirkus page, which I'm hoping that majority of you have already gone on and maybe checked out. Through the Quirkus page, you could actually go find your group and directly connect with your peer leaders, ask questions through the discussion boards. And we definitely prompt you to ask them about their leadership experience, how they were involved at not just New College, but U of T as well. And any other questions you have to your peer leader, they're here to answer all of them throughout the summer. We also encourage you to follow our Life at New account as well as our NC orientation account. Tickets will be coming out soon, or registration will be coming out soon for NC orientation. So definitely follow the NC orientation account in order to stay up to date on orientation. A lot of people in this call, a lot of our panelists have been involved in orientation in many ways. And it's a life-changing experience, really. So I definitely encourage you to stay up to date on that and be ready for that registration form to come out. Sign up for the next summer welcome sessions. We encourage students to really take advantage of the sessions we offer. We offer some more academic focused ones. So if you want to learn more about the resources available, there's that. We also have a mock lecture. It's called Transitioning into Lectures at University. So definitely sign up for more if you're interested in learning about different aspects before you start in September. And then we also have a pre-orientation survey. I will put that into the chat so that you could have the direct link. This will really help us determine how to support you for the incoming year. So definitely fill that out. We highly encourage it. And finally, we also have an evaluation form for our sessions that, again, we encourage you to fill out, and you could also be entered to win some U of T swag. So hopefully that's a little incentive there beyond the kindness of your heart to fill out a form on a Saturday. So thank you all so much for joining us. Again, if you have any questions, maybe you're having trouble finding your group on Quirkus, or you want to connect with someone, or you have a question that you want to directly ask, I will include the new.studentlife Life email into the chat as well. It is a great kind of starting point in case you have a question but don't really know where to go, or maybe you're having trouble connecting with your PL or HPL. Definitely reach out to us through there, and either myself or our interns, Laura, will answer your questions there. So that leads us to the end of our session. I would like to kind of wrap it up with a little conclusion similar to how we started in the earlier part of the session. Is please insert into the chat one word to describe how you are feeling now leaving the session compared to before we started. Then take a moment, think, maybe reflect. You're feeling a bit more curious now that you've heard from our panelists? Are you feeling more hopeful for the September start time? Are you feeling maybe even nervous? A little more questions than you thought you'd have starting? What are the feelings? Feel free to pop them in the chat, and if you want to. Hopeful, Kayla. More excited. By Clark. No, those are positive things. Informative, that's great. Excited, awesome. Excited. Hungry. I feel that too. Reflective. That's great. I am definitely thinking of lunch too. So I know someone in Emily and I have very similar mindsets at the moment. Reflective. That's great. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot more positive emotions, feelings coming out of this session. And that's what we're really hoping for, that you can start getting to meet some of your leaders, getting to meet your incoming class and getting to know people so that you could start building those networks before you start your official academic journey, and start thinking about how to get involved or how to stay connected with people and get that support network started. So yeah, we hope you got to take something out of this session. And again, there are so many ways to stay connected with us, as well as upper year students and leaders, as the panelists presented. So we would like to thank you for taking this time to join us today. Thank you, New College. We are super excited to see your faces and see you hopefully in the upcoming year or in our other sessions or in orientation. This is a lovely pick that we took in one of our orientations, and this is your community, everyone. So we're super excited to have you, and we'll hopefully see you soon. Have an awesome Saturday.
Thank you for being here.
Hi, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you. I'm so impressed that you guys came here.
On a Saturday.
Yeah.